Hey everyone, welcome back. Are you ready to dig into some dinosaur mysteries? We've got some listener audio with some seriously cool dino theories.
It'll be fun to see what we really know about dinosaurs.
Yeah, for sure. So like when you picture a T-Rex, you probably imagine, scaly skin, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. Classic T-Rex look.
Right. But our source is saying, hold on, what if they were fluffy?
Fluffy.
Yeah. They point out that like using just bones to figure out a dinosaur is like trying to describe a dog from its skeleton.
Ah, I see what you mean. You'd miss the fur, the floppy ears.
Exactly. There's so much we don't know about how dinos look. It's kind of mind-blowing.
It really is. There are tons of possibilities.
Totally. And speaking of possibilities, here's another mystery. Were dinos warm-blooded or cold-blooded?
Oh, yeah, the classic debate.
Right. But get this, our source is suggesting maybe some were both.
Now, that's interesting, like a mix.
Yeah, or maybe even like different types were different. It really makes you think about how they lived.
Absolutely. Imagine a giant dinosaur, like 25 meters long.
Whoa, that's huge EE.
If it was cold-blooded, it might take 100 years to grow that big.
100 years, that's like a whole human lifetime.
Exactly. But if it was warm-blooded, it'd grow way faster, more like us.
Okay, that makes sense. But there's got to be a trade-off, right?
Oh, for sure. A warm-blooded dino that size would need a ton of food, something like 200 kilograms every day.
200 kilograms
Yeah.
every single day.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. Think about how much energy that would take.
Wow. So figuring out their metabolism is key to understanding their whole lifestyle. And this next thing really got me thinking. Our source said that dinos were around for 200 million years.
A ridiculously long time.
Yeah, but they never developed advanced intelligence like humans.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, like, what does success really mean in evolution?
Right, they thrive for millions of years. Maybe intelligence isn't the only way to measure success.
Exactly. Like maybe not going extinct for 200 million years is a pretty good measure of success on its own. But of course, eventually they did disappear. And that's the big question.
Right.
How?
The ultimate dinosaur mystery, our source actually called it the biggest mystery. They just
Yeah.
vanished.
It's like 1 minute they're ruling the planet and then poof, gone.
Yes.
So what do scientists think happened?
The most popular theory is the asteroid impact.
Oh, right. The asteroid. I've heard about that.
It's pretty intense. Picture an asteroid about 15 kilometers wide.
Whoa, that's bigger than any city I know.
Right, and it hit Earth at something like 70,000 kilometers per hour.
That is terrifying, like something out of a disaster movie.
Oh, it definitely would have been a disaster. The energy released, they say it would have been like 1 billion Hiroshima bombs.
A billion. Whoa, what would that even do to the planet?
Immediate chaos, obviously. Then global earthquakes, tsunamis hundreds of meters high, even something called an impact winter.
Impact winter, what's that?
So much dust and debris got thrown into the atmosphere that it blocked out the sun. For years, maybe even decades.
Wow, so the whole planet went dark.
Pretty much. Temperatures plummeted everywhere. It would have been really hard to survive.
That's incredible. But hold on, didn't our source also mention the asteroid might have hit after the dinosaurs were already gone?
They did bring up a few alternative theories.
Like what?
Well, one idea is that maybe mammals helped wipe them out.
Mammals. Like tiny little mammals taking down giant dinos. How?
The source suggested they might have eaten dinosaur eggs, preventing them from reproducing.
Interesting. But wouldn't we find dinosaur eggs today if that was the main reason?
Yeah, that's a good point. There's another theory, a bit more out there, that dinosaurs' own bodies might have been a problem.
Huh. What do you mean?
Well, think about their massive size, those long necks, the wings. Maybe all that became too much for their skeletons to handle.
You're saying their bodies just couldn't keep up with themselves?
It's a possibility. The source also threw out this idea, what if gravity was different back then?
Wait, changing gravity? Is that even possible?
It's a wild thought, right? But maybe weaker gravity let them grow so big, and then when it changed, they couldn't adapt.
That is wild. So are scientists still trying to figure out exactly what happened to the dinosaurs?
Oh, absolutely. There's still so much we don't know. But there's another extinction event we need to talk about. One that's happening right now.
Oh, right. Things are about to get serious.
Yeah, our source was pretty clear about this. The sixth mass extinction is already here, and we're the ones causing it.
That's a sobering thought. We're basically the asteroid this time around.
It's a powerful way to put it. And the rate at which species are disappearing, it's like nothing we've seen before.
It's scary to think about. All those plants and animals disappearing forever because of us.
It is. But let's go back to the asteroid for a sec. Our source had this crazy theory about where it came from. A planet called Baptistina?
Baptistina, never heard of it.
It's hypothetical. Supposedly, it existed between Mars and Jupiter but got destroyed.
The whole planet destroyed. How?
Maybe a collision with something else. And the debris, they say, created the asteroid belt.
Whoa, so one of those pieces from the destroyed planet might have killed the dinos.
That's the theory. And here's where it gets even wilder. They connect this to the ancient Sumerian myth of Nibiru.
Nibiru, like the Planet X conspiracy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They both supposedly orbited in the same area. So the source is asking, could Nibiru have VE been Baptistina?
Whoa, that's a crazy thought. So, like, a real planet got destroyed, made the asteroid belt, and maybe even scattered the Anunnaki, those mythical beings from Nibiru, across a galaxy.
It's a wild idea, right? It blends science and myth in a really fascinating way.
Okay, I'm totally hooked now. So, is there any evidence to back this up? Like, did a planet actually explode in our solar system?
Well, the Nibiru stuff is still just a myth. But there is scientific evidence that planet collisions happened in the early solar system.
So maybe Baptistina did exist, and maybe it did get smashed to pieces.
It's definitely possible. And who knows what else we'll discover out there as we keep exploring space.
Yeah, there are so many mysteries left to uncover.
Space is just full of crazy stories, isn't it? Like that whole planet blowing up and maybe causing the dinosaur extinction.
It's like something out of a movie. But even if that Nibiru connection is, a bit out there, the idea that the asteroid came from a destroyed planet is still pretty wild.
Totally. It shows how, our solar system isn't this calm, peaceful place. There's been some serious action going on.
Yeah, it makes you realize how fragile Earth really is. But speaking of things that could shake up our world, our source also brought up magnetic field shifts.
Oh, yeah, those are fascinating. They talk about how, if Earth's magnetic poles suddenly shifted,
What would happen?
it could weaken our planet's shield against solar radiation.
Our shield.
Yeah, the magnetic field protects us from harmful stuff from the sun.
Oh, right, like a force field.
Exactly. But if it weakened, we'd be exposed to all that radiation. Not good.
Yikes. Sounds like a bad sunburn on a planetary scale.
Pretty much. And our source pointed out this mystery. How did some things survive if that happened?
Yeah, that's a good question. If a magnetic field shift was so deadly, how are we still here?
Right. And why did the dinosaurs, big and small, on land and in the sea, why did they all die out while mammals somehow made it?
It's like some species are just better at surviving these crazy events. So, with all these different theories about the dinosaurs, what do most scientists think happened?
Despite all the cool ideas, the asteroid impact is still the most accepted explanation.
So that seems like the most likely culprit.
It is, and there's a lot of evidence for it, like the Chicxulub crater in Mexico. It's like a giant scar from the impact right when the dinosaurs disappeared.
It's like a marker of that catastrophic event.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful to think about. Now, other things might have played a role too, like volcanoes or climate change.
But the asteroid was the final blow.
Exactly. Now, where does that Baptistina theory fit in?
Remind me, what was that again?
It tries to explain where the asteroid came from. Those computer simulations suggest it likely came from the remains of that hypothetical planet, the one that supposedly exploded.
Oh, right. So it's not saying the asteroid didn't hit. It's just saying, hey, we think we know where it came from.
Exactly. It adds another layer to the story. And even if that theory turns out to be wrong, it shows how science is always evolving, always looking for better explanations.
It's like a puzzle, and scientists are constantly finding new pieces. But it's easy to get lost in the dinosaur mystery and forget that.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of an extinction crisis right now.
It's a sobering thought. We're seeing species disappear faster than ever before, and it's our fault.
We're like the asteroid this time.
That's a powerful way to think about it.
Yeah.
And our source really emphasized that. It's a wake-up call.
Yeah, we can't just stand by and watch it happen. But on a slightly lighter note, remember that changing gravity idea?
Oh, yeah, that was wild. What if our weight just suddenly changed?
It would mess everything up.
Mm-hmm.
But even if it's just a theory, it shows how little we still know about our planet.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
humbling.
This whole deep dive has been a wild ride, from fluffy dinosaurs to changing gravity and everything in between. It's crazy how it all connects.
I know. It started with dinos, and now we're talking about the fate of planets and humanity.
It's a lot to take in. So, what do we do with all this information?
I think the first thing is to just be amazed by it all. The dinosaurs, their world, the vastness of time. It's mind-blowing.
It makes you feel pretty small in the grand scheme of things.
For sure. And it reminds us that we're not separate from nature, we're part of it, and our actions matter.
So we have to learn from the past, like the dinosaur extinction, to protect our planet today.
Exactly. We have a responsibility to take care of this place.
Because who knows what the future holds?
Hmm.
Our source even asked, what if changing gravity was a threat to humans?
That's a scary thought. It's like, how do you even prepare for something like that?
It's a good reminder that there's still so much we don't know about the forces that shape our world.
And that we should be open to new ideas, even if they sound crazy at first.
It's all about staying curious and learning as much as we can.
Couldn't agree more. There's always more to discover.
Yeah, it's like they say, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. It's kind of humbling, right?
It really is. It makes you appreciate the power of just being curious.
Totally. That drive to keep asking questions, keep exploring. That's what keeps us learning and growing.
And honestly, that's what I love about studying dinosaurs. They're like a window into this totally different world.
Yeah. But they can also teach us about our world. Like understanding how they went extinct might help us avoid the same fate.
Exactly. Their story isn't just about the past. It has implications for the future, too.
And speaking of the future, our source left us with this pretty intense question. They asked, what if changing gravity was a threat to humans?
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a whole other level of existential crisis. We've talked about asteroids, climate change, even magnetic fields.
But gravity, that's like the foundation of our reality. How do you even prepare for that?
Right. It's mind-boggling. But even if it's just a theory, it shows how much we still have to learn about the universe.
For sure. It's a reminder to stay humble and open to new ideas, no matter how crazy they might seem.
Exactly. So where do we go from here? What do we do with all this knowledge about dinosaurs, extinction, and the forces that shape our world?
Well, I think the first step is just to appreciate how amazing it all is. Those giant creatures roaming the earth,
Yeah.
the vastness of time.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that we're part of this massive interconnected web of life.
And that our actions have consequences. Like, we can't just ignore the lessons of the dinosaurs and keep destroying our planet.
Totally. We need to be better stewards of our home to protect it, not destroy it.
It's about learning from the past, embracing the present, and creating a future where humans and nature can thrive together.
Well said. I think that's a great place to wrap things up.
I agree. So there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into the world of dinosaurs has taken us on quite the journey.
From fluffy T-Rexes to changing gravity, mass extinction, and even ancient myths.
It's been an adventure. We've explored mysteries, challenged assumptions, and hopefully sparked a little bit of wonder along the way.
As always, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep that curiosity alive.
Because there's still so much out there to discover. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious.